Like to answer the following question by a lady whom I would like to question Anne for purposes of confidentiality. So let's read what Anne says. Hey, Leopard, I need help. I love my husband very, very much. He used to be alcoholic and we walked together the journey, and he was able to moderate that and sometimes even stopped it. Now, the problem is that whenever he's under duress or depressed or just under pressure from the office or when our business is not working well, he always reverts back to drinking. And if he does not drink, then he works me out and tires me out with sex, like all day, all night. I am now just tired and worn out. I don't know what to do, and I've ended up to hate sex. What can I do? I still love my husband. That's a complicated question. Complicated because it calls in a lot of psychology principles, it calls in a lot of science, but I will try to break it down into pellets that the ordinary person can actually understand. Now, the process of sexual intercourse releases what generally we call the feel good hormones, and there are various sets of them, whether they're talking cortisol, whether they're talking vasopressin, and there are about six of them. So the point here is that the body releases certain feel good hormones whose end effect is that, and those people who are adults and married and have been having sexual intercourse will realize that after you have had sexual intercourse, you relax, your brain relaxes, your mind relaxes, your your emotions calm down. Most of the times you may even fall off and just sleep. Women do not understand. They complain that their men slept as soon as they had had sexual intercourse. That's what they need to understand. That part of the effect is that you actually feel just sleepy and drowsy, but your body relaxes. It's as if you've been going through a massage or that kind of a thing. But why am I explaining this? I'm explaining this because the 2 points that I'm making is that sexual intercourse generally gives or creates the impression of relief, of peace, even if it's temporarily, of peace, of relief, of relaxation. And therefore, when a man does that and realizes that immediately they have done that, they relax. Immediately they have done that, they feel good. Immediately they have done that, they feel like the pressure has gone away. Because within that period of time, truth be told, there is some sense that you lose. You could actually buy an aeroplane with zero budget. But then the second point, which many people do not know, is that amongst the hormones that are released during sexual intercourse are hormones that actually blur, blur, obscure, and obstruct pain. Let me explain without being so scientific about it. For those people who have sexual interactions, have you realized that when you are actually in the act of sexual intercourse, you don't feel pain? But immediately you finish, you realize that your back is on fire. You realize that your hip is on fire. You realize that there is a certain muscle that you overstretch. You realize that you have a muscle pull maybe in your thigh or in your arm, depending with what you are doing and the position that you are doing. So don't start imagining things here. But I'm just saying a fact that most people, including myself, that during sexual intercourse, you don't feel pain at all. But after that, that is when you realize what the hair has cut me, and there's a part of my skin that is gone. I have a bruise. You will realize that if you had back issues, trouble, you're in trouble. You realize if your hip had a problem by during that time you didn't have problem, but now your hip is in trouble, depending with how you did it, the positions you took, and all those kind of dynamics. So what is my point? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is Mr. Leopard himself here, and just like I told you that I'll be showing you much more about Eda Gardens. This property is owned by the Almond Estate Company, and they have two phases. There is Eda Garden Phase 1 and Phase 2, and I'm right here with the boss himself, the CEO himself, Mr. Washira. Just say hello to my people.
Hello, great people of God.
Yes, we are within Isinya, at a place called Birika. That's our junction point between Isinya and Kiserian. So we want to show you just an overview of how this place looks like. And we want you to own property here. We want you to own this land, and we'll be telling you how you can go through that process. It's very easy, very affordable, within everyone's reach. So, sir, let's go and let's show these people what Eda Garden.
It begins here.
Okay.
Phase 2 of Eda Gardens. A gated community concept. That is why we have put such a fence, concrete pole, chain link, all allowed the entire property, the 29 acres, properly fenced. We have also done powerful roads. You can see we have done a well-graded maram road. So these 29 acres all subdivided into 50 by 100 size of a plot. That's an eighth of an acre. And every plot is accessible through this maram road. Well done. You can see the drainage.
Come and be a part of the ownership of this place. It's a gated community with beautiful amenities. 100 by 50. The expanse is good. The neighborhood looks good. The weather is good. The roads are good. It's a real deal.
Ulifikiria tunakuja kishakani. Sasa nimekuletea kwa boma.
Yes.
Chai umekunywa.
Yes.
Matunda umekula.
Matunda nimekula.
Madizi ndio hii. Ngojea inakomaa.
Exactly.
Kuja hapa nitasema uziwe na bei rahisi.
Yes.
Angalia pale mbele yako. Nini unajionea?
Ninaona neighborhood mzuri, kuna nyumba tamu hapo.
Weka manyumba ya kileo.
Yes.
Hiyo ni kusema Luda imehama Kiambu,
imekuja huko. Eda Gardens.
Eda Gardens.
Yes.
So you have your place to put your Luda,
yes.
your dream home.
Yes.
The entire place. Look at it. Kama tumetoka kule Nairobi kwa msongamano, tumekuja hapa tumejipatia nafasi ya kujenga na hata na kuweka mimea na chakula.
Yes.
Wakati wa COVID watu walikuwa wanatafuta managu, walikuwa wanatafuta telere, zote zinapatikana wapi? Hapa Eda Garden.
Kabisa.
Ujipatie ploti yako na you are shaba boy.
Exactly.
Huna haja ya kutafuta chakula elsewhere.
Exactly.
This is the place to be. Mbona umechelewa? Great, and the prices are awesome. Option number 1, you're making your payment within a duration of 30 days. Then at Kenya shillings 550. 550 within 30 days, you have your piece here, you have your price.
If you are taking 3 months, 650,000, just imagine.
What about an individual going for 6 months all the way to 1 year? 750,000. And how do you engage? A deposit of 10%, then equal installment for every month.
Man, if you guys are a group, you come up as a group of 10. Maybe you are a chama, maybe you are a CBO, maybe you're just a group of friends. You pick 10 plots, you get 1 free. It never gets better than that. On this hand, you go to Isinya, and we are right in the middle between Isinya and Kiserian. So, this direction you go to Isinya, and to that direction you go to Kiserian. I can see there's a beautiful hotel. Ask your husband to do some physical exercises, join him, encourage him, go with him, and do it with him. Do a little more of that. Do those walks, do those bike rides, go to the gym, do the joggings in the morning and stuff like that, and you will realize that it will compensate for a little bit of the sex drive. And especially if it comes during stressful moments, then the stressful moments are the more reason why you should engage your spouse in more of the physical exercises. I hope that was helpful.